Hello, this is Donna coming to you again with a new video. I wanted to talk to you today about the Pilot Vanishing Point Pen. Let's lay that out there. This one is in a deep red, almost a burgundy. I think they call it antique red with a chrome accent. Today in the writing test, we're going to be comparing this pen to my Pilot Metropolitan. And just to throw in another comparison, I picked up this 0.7 Energel ink pen. And when we do the writing test today, you'll be able to see the differences in the pen width of the ink once it hits the paper. So, let's move along. First thing I want to do is to cover the Pilot. The Pilot is a vanishing point. Well, how does that work? You simply push on the plunger like you would this gel pen. See? The Pilot works the very same way. Now what happens is when the nib goes back up in this barrel, there's a little, I call it a trap door almost, that comes over this particular area so that the pen nib does not get bent, get misaligned, and it also helps with leakage of ink out of the pen. You will see that the pocket clasp, and that's usually what men will refer to this, is at this end of the pen, and your clicking device is at the bottom end of the pen. So let's open this up so that you can see what the inside looks like. Now look, the nib and everything is all in one piece. This is the loading device, the ink loading device. Let me see if I can get that a little closer. The loading device comes from here to here. This happens to be a siphon type pen. That's not the correct word, but let me tell you how it works. You take this black device and you screw it to the left, and what that will do is there's a rubber stopper in here, and the more you screw, the farther down on this device that rubber stopper will go. Then you put your device in your ink, and while it's in the ink, you will turn the black screw to the right. And what will happen is that rubber stopper will have created a vacuum, and the vacuum will just suck the ink right up into the pen. And you can see right in through here is a visual little window. I don't often use it very much. You can pretty much tell when these are going to run out of ink. So let's reassemble this. Now how do you do that? Pick up the long barrel end, and you will see that the loading of this device comes with, you see this little notch right here? That little notch right there fits into that little slot. You pick up the rest of the pen and you screw it together once you've loaded your pen with ink. Now I will say that I have put Parker black ink in this pen, and that will also be in my Metropolitan that I'll talk about next. But boom, boom, you're ready. This is my Metropolitan. I've had this a long time. This is a capped pen. I usually post my caps, and what will happen is you align the pocket clasp to the center of your nib, and that gives you the proper writing, and that way this doesn't rub on your hands, this part. So you park that into the writing groove. Now the loading system on this one is a little different. Let me dismantle it. You can see here, this is a compression squeezer. So what happens is, let me show you. What you do is you put this device down into the ink, and what I usually do is I'll squeeze 1, 2, 3, and on the third I will release very, very slowly because that is drawing ink up, and I want a nice good fill. So once you've loaded your pen, you just simply screw the device into your barrel and you recap it. So there you have that one. And for the writing test today, I threw in this 0.7 Energel in a purple, just so that we can distinguish which one is which. And as I said, the other two pens are filled with Parker black ink. So let's begin. Now I'm going to be writing on paper that has 5 squares per inch, just to give you some idea of a gauge. So let's write how, now, brown, cow. So this took up, oh, that looks like about 3 inches. Now, moving to the next one, let's do the Metropolitan. By the way, this is a fine nib. Okay, are you ready? How, now, brown, cow. And you can see it takes a little less room for this one. I love these fine point Metropolitans. Now, moving on to the feature item today is the Pilot Vanishing Point. And automatically, let me tell you too, before we get started with the writing, this takes some getting used to. This is the clip. Remember, the other way on the Metropolitan, the clip is in your, it cradles in the crook of your hand. Here, this will cradle between your 2 fingers. And what will happen is, this automatically positions your nib ready for writing. So let's do that. How, now, brown, cow. And this is a medium nib. And this was a fine nib. This was the Metro. And this is the Vanishing Point. So you can see that the writing is more closely spaced together. You can see that this has great ink flow. I write heavily. I have a really heavy hand when I write. And sometimes when I'm writing, I like to write vertically. So that gives you an example. But everything is flowing very, very smoothly. And I'll turn this around so you can get a close-up look at that. So there you have the writing test. The price point on these makes the Pilot come in at around $125, $130. I've seen them run more than that. I've seen them a little bit less than that. And it all depends upon what finish you have that you select. You can get them at most places like Amazon, Jet Pens, Goulet Pen Company, and many, many more that I'm sorry, I forget the names of right now. So that's your Pilot Vanishing Point. The Metropolitan comes in at around $25, I would say. I will tell you that this is a great little workhorse. I've had this pen for years, and you can see it's getting a little scuffed and scarred, but I don't let that slow me down. This is, as I said, is a wonderful little workhorse of a pen. But the price point on the Metropolitan is quite different from that of the Vanishing Point. When I was preparing to do this video, I was thinking, and this is an analogy of my thoughts, or a summation of my thoughts. There are a lot of people who go to dollar spots or to stores with the name dollar in the name, or go to wherever, and they do hauls. So let's assume that you spend $20 per haul. You could save 6 of those trips, and you would have almost enough to buy this pen if you want to really give yourself a wonderful indulgence. Now, one of the things I did want to do while we're working today is I wanted to give you a time test. Let's do the Metropolitan first. So I've taken it out of my planner and I'm holding it. So we go 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. So that was about, well, 3 according to the way I was counting. Now you've picked up your Pilot, and here we go. 1 1000. I was a little slack on the counting, but you would most likely be, let's do it again. 1 1000, 2 1000. Okay. So it takes a little less time, and the convenience of having the click point is awesome. It's just awesome. And it's a brilliant idea. This pen has actually been around for a long number of years. But there seems to be a resurgence of interest in the Vanishing Point pen. So, the features. Easy to load, an attractive pen. It does have a clasp so that you can slide it into your pen loop or onto a safe place. Now, I don't carry this one around every day when I'm out and about because this again is a different price point from this pen. So if I do carry this one, I want to make darn sure I'm not going to lose it. This one I don't want to lose either. However, if I did, my world wouldn't come to an end. It's amazing to me, too, what my friends will say. You know, when I pull my Vanishing Point out and I start writing, and they go, "Oh my God, that's a fountain pen." I say, "Yes, it is." One of the things I did forget to show you, I want to show you the size of the nib. See how tiny that is? Much different. Let's get the nib from the Pilot Metro. There's a comparison of the two nibs. Again, just a wonderfully crafted item that I certainly enjoy using. So I hope by today's presentation I will have planted a seed in you that maybe you too would like to save for your very own Pilot Vanishing Point. I can promise you that once you've used one, you're spoiled, you're hooked. You won't regret it. So, that being said, I'm going to wind up this video by wishing each of you a very great day. I hope it's a good one, and write something today. I oftentimes use this one when I'm journaling in my planner. But treat yourself, explore something new, and again, have a great day. This is Donna signing off. I'll be back later with other videos. Oh, one thing I did forget. If you like this one, do give me a thumbs up. And if you like my videos, please subscribe. I would love to have you as part of my viewing network.